Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with The Sopranos. Last time around we had Everybody Hurts, where Artie was doing Artie stuff. Is that good enough recap? I feel like that just kind of explains the whole thing. Artie got caught up in business with some French guys and then lost money, and Tony had to deal with that. Tony was dealing with the fact that he learned that Gloria committed suicide, and was processing that while also trying to make sure that Artie didn't do that. Also, AJ's girlfriend is rich, like really rich. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we left off. Yeah, that. Might as well just jump right into this episode, so let's get going.
What do you hear? What do you say?
Hey! Yeah, Paulie's back. Finally recovered.
Oh, you guys.
Salud.
Salud.
Just a second. If I don't see her each day.
Damn, they got drinks, they got Sinatra.
Paulie, say hello to Brian Camarado, Com's cousin. The financial guy.
How you doing, kid? So, just back from college, huh?
Now, let me talk to Paulie for a sec, all right?
Nice meeting you.
He does financials, not comedy.
But isn't there some law about testifying against your husband?
Excuse me?
Richard and I were married night before last in Reno.
The defense requests chambers.
We'll stand in recess.
Dude, that's probably why the feds are targeting you specifically.
Any investment advice for ambitious young men such as myself?
Buy land, I guess. God ain't making any more of it. That's what Will Rogers said. You get a front man to buy houses in some crummy neighborhood. I'm talking about some real shit boxes. Maybe they're worth like $100,000 a piece. Next, you tie up with some non-profit organization who goes to HUD, says they intend to buy these houses from your stooge. They're gonna convert them to homes for working class blacks, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, though...
Oh no, they're getting ideas. Oh, don't tell me Furio's gonna do something.
But I get the pictures from the housewarming finally.
Oh, good. Bring him next time.
I will. There's a pretty one of you.
Oh, that's sweet. I don't see the glasses, Fuhr.
Man, and I thought he was being a good guy.
Yeah, I'd probably leave.
Furio, what are you doing? I thought you were just a good guy with Italian Riz. Now you're a bad guy with Italian Riz.
This is awkward. Irene and I are seeing each other.
What? You're fucking kidding me. Beautiful girl. Little needy. Frankly, I'm glad to have her off my payroll.
Thanks. Thanks for understanding.
We should have but the best, friend.
Yeah.
Dr. Freed, you are now the legal owner.
Eat my dust, Donald Trump.
Eh. I don't know if he's gonna be eating your dust.
Hey,
Ah.
Vienna. Oh, Jesus
Jeez.
Christ. Would you go haunt a house or something? It's been a while. Figured I'd check in.
She is like a
See you fall
ghost.
up my ass.
Your great-grandfather helped build that almost 80 years ago.
Oh, I've heard this
He
before.
was a stonemason, the old man. Came over from Avelina with $4 in his pocket.
Yeah, but I saw in a book where you could get a hotel room for like 10 cents a week then. Room service must have been like 1 or 2 cents a meal.
Room service?
Yeah.
Talk about history here, AJ. I mean, look at all these buildings around here. Most of them are falling down into the ground. But that church is still standing. You know why?
The bricks?
Because our people give a shit, that's why. Every Sunday, Italians from the old neighborhood, they drive miles to come here to pray. To keep this place alive.
So how come we never do?
That's beside the point.
Buy land, AJ. Because God ain't making any more of it.
Meh.
See those houses over there? I'm buying them.
Those crappy ones? Well, what for?
For an investment. What have I been saying?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Real estate. Buy real estate.
Unless you want something, motherfucker, get the fuck off our street.
Oh, the language on you. You blow your father with that mouth?
The fuck you say to my sister? Bitch.
So that's a crack hoe.
Get your fucking crack ass off my motherfucking block.
Come on, ease up, ease up.
They have kids. That's even more pressure. The Lettos never had kids.
I wouldn't count on children. She's had some issues. Female trouble.
Maybe Darwin was right. Nature really does weed out the Nimrods.
So what do we do, people?
Jesus Christ.
Yay or nay? Supportive or discouraging?
If anyone objects to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your peace.
I say neutral or supportive.
Even if we discourage it, she's likely to go through with it anyway.
Meh.
Agreed then. They have our blessing.
This isn't gonna go the way she thinks. A lot of left-handed people today.
On Garside Street?
It really would have been better if we met over at Denny's.
We gotta get him out of there.
Why didn't your guys roust him?
Oh, nice. Bunch of white guys setting off caps in the ghetto. That won't attract any attention at all.
What do you want me to do?
Exert some influence, make some calls. Get the donut squad to go down there and roust the shitbags.
Tony, it's not that easy.
Hello, Tony.
Could have done this at Denny's.
How you doing, hon?
I'm very good.
Well, good.
Let's get married.
Whoa! Where'd this come from?
I don't know. It's gonna be 2 years we're engaged.
Yeah, they have been engaged for a
Let's
while.
just go down to City Hall.
Can't have a club, stay out all night getting high when you have a kid.
If I can't, would you still love me?
Of course I'd still love you.
Good.
My uterus got pierced.
Both of them?
There's only one. That's ovaries.
Yeah.
What does that mean? You can't get pregnant?
My doctor said it might be hard. A friend of mine gave me the name of a specialist in Manhattan.
You knew you were damaged goods and you never fucking told me?
You call me that.
Yeah, but I still love you. Ugh. Take the dog, get in the car,
Great girl, Christopher.
out of here.
Want my advice? And this is nothing about Aid or anybody else. Stay single as long as you can.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Oh, no offense. But ask me, marriage and that thing don't jive.
Everybody we know is married.
Not everybody.
Meh.
When the shoe was on the other foot, your spleen, she stood by you, right?
Yeah, when you were shot multiple times.
What are you going to end up like my Uncle Junior?
Or worse, like Paulie.
Yeah.
I never laid a finger on you.
You loomed. You threw my tissue holder.
Yeah, and then I picked it up. I was very upset. You lied to me.
I did not lie to you.
You withheld information about a very sensitive subject.
You did not ask.
We got accosted by these crackheads. One of them had a gun. And the other one threw a bottle at my car. Now, it may not sound like much, but I let it go. I drove away.
Yeah.
Well, in the future, I'll ask that you extend to me the same courtesy you would a crack addict.
Yeah.
I knew I hit something last night when I turned off the road.
That's Mr. T.
Tape ain't gonna do us any good if we can't get out the county with it.
But Mr. T.
I love you, Adrian. I want you in my life.
I love you too, Christopher.
Yay. Someday they will be split apart. I'm just thinking it's probably...
Start with that now?
thinking it's probably going to be via death.
Why can't we get married?
I was thinking maybe our anniversary we could go to Vegas.
Vegas is a good option. It's a legitimate option. Well, it's something, I guess.
Vegas? Want to get married by some Elvis impersonator?
We would save money at least.
No, it's a sacrament, Aid. Why don't we have it here? All your friends could come.
Yeah.
We'll have it in the great room. Believe me, you will not save any money in Vegas. My cousin Jackie and her husband Tommy, $60,000 at blackjack.
Well, don't go gambling.
I'm getting married.
Went and talked to the religious woman. Oh, God.
Remember, just shoot the ceiling and shit. No 187.
Just the ceiling.
Don't come around here no more.
Oh. I'm fucking laughing.
I told you young people that crack is some bad shit.
Alright. He's right-handed. Ah, stamps.
Come in. What are you doing out in the cold?
Today I'll wait in the car, I think.
Oh.
Why don't you want some coffee?
The motor is acting funny. I need to keep my foot on the gas pedal.
Well, okay. Looking forward to seeing those pictures, though. Yeah, let Tony know you're here.
Yeah. Well, good. Friggin' good, Furio. Don't be trying nothing.
How's the moose? Fucking great.
From Canada.
I'll tell you.
Haha. Moose
The shit you
jokes.
miss when you're inside? Even before I left, he was treating me like the ugly girl at the dance. I'm sucking wind, and he's rolling in it with that fucking Christ killer. Fucking Zellman. Fucking real estate scam.
Feeling Heisen Avenue thing. We had some words.
They have said Freeland-Heisen Avenue so much, I've actually figured out how to say it.
Is it gonna be a nice house here now?
Oh no. Zellman has a heart. That's a terrible thing to have on this show.
I can't testify against the husband.
Oh, right. Actually, though, I don't think that's actually true.
What do you mean?
I
Did
mean...
a whole murder she wrote about that. See, this butler thought his wife couldn't testify against her husband, but it turns out, legally, she actually could.
That could have been years ago. Well, I mean... Technically...
In order to claim marital privilege, 3 conditions must be met.
Oh my God, it's a simple question. Can they make me testify or not?
The short answer?
Probably. In an organized crime, or RICO, the feds will spend a fortune putting on their case. Believe me, if they want you to testify, they're gonna find a way.
Well...
Here you go.
There goes that.
The sign of peace.
Well, here's something I never thought I'd say. To the federal government.
Meh.
Depends on which department.
Should have gone to Vegas. I'm just gonna point that out.
Oh, no, scissors. Bad luck.
Why are scissors... That's weird. Oh my God, look at all these appliances she's getting.
I can't count how many cheese melts I've made for Silvio in that thing.
So miserable. It's a leaf dish. I don't like it. Alright, he's pulling over.
You got anything to drink?
Oh.
Look, why don't you just calm down and...
What's going? What are you doing?
Well, we can talk about whatever's bothering you. Yeah?
Tony, this is crazy.
No! Tony! Tony!
Yeah.
Well, the girls in New Jersey, you had to fuck this one? Go ahead. Cry like a bitch.
Good grief, man. Hooray. Good friggin' grief. Well, it could have been worse. Oh boy. This has got to, like... At the very least, I feel like the overarching thing for this season has been... Adriana? Like something's got to happen with that this season, I feel like, right? Like, maybe something else will crop up. You know, that might not be the only thing this season, but that's certainly a big one. And they're going to have to deal with that. She tried, but at this point, she's to pack a bag, grab her dog, get in the car, and drive far away. Go to the other coast. I don't know, do something. Get out of there. Because, oh my god, you want to talk about a toxic relationship on this show. Christopher and Adriana. Oh, that's toxic right there. Damaged goods. Good fucking grief, man. And I mean, the slight mirroring, but just like the whole thing of like, wow, but then he apologized. And it's like, yeah, but it still happened, you know? Don't mind me, I'm just fidgeting with my hands right now, so. But yeah, it's like, that's the thing. It's like, you know, it's his outburst at her. I mean, it's like with Dr. Melfi, when she's like, you know, even if you didn't lay a finger on me, you still loomed. You know? It's inexcusable. And it's the same thing with Christopher, you know? It's the same thing with Christopher that they're like, oh, well, he apologized and accepted her and stuff. I was like, you still called her damaged goods. Like, Jesus Christ, you know? I guess it's the thing. I should have figured that they were going to explain that it's like, yeah, if the federal government wants you to testify, you will testify. Because the fact that they, you know, were talking about it, they were like, yep, we're in favor. It's totally fine if they have kids, you know? You know, if they get married and have kids. If they get married, that's one thing. Kids are even better because that's more pressure. It's just like, geez, man. And it's just a thing of like, man, you know, it's such a weird thing with the show because it's like, we are talking about terrible people. Like, Christopher is a terrible person, you know? But there's like this, there is this thing where I'm just like, man, I don't know. I guess here's a question. Is Adriana a terrible person? Is Adriana a terrible person? I mean, not to the extent that Christopher is, but it's a weird thing because you primarily watch these characters, you know, with Tony being the protagonist of the show. It doesn't mean he's a hero. He's just the protagonist, but because of that, you look at the federal government, it's like, man, here comes the federal government, you know, doing their thing and stuff, but it's like, but they're doing the right thing. They're doing the good thing, actually. It's like, in this scenario, it's like, no, the federal government is doing the good and right thing and dealing with criminals, you know? But, I mean, maybe it would be like if they were putting pressure on Carmilla, you know? If they were putting pressure on Carmilla, where Carmilla is also kind of a terrible person, but just in a... She's just kind of bad, you know? But, like, otherwise, she's bad because of Tony. If there was no Tony, she would just kind of be a normal person, you know? Like, if there was no Christopher, then Adriana would also kind of just be a normal person. Sure, she'd be doing drugs and stuff like that, but she wouldn't be a criminal, you know? So I guess there's that. Furio went through a character arc off screen, apparently. Which is so weird, because it's like Furio has not given any signs that he's, you know, that he's interested in Carmilla. But then we get literally just one scene where it looks like he's getting, you know, tempted. And then, you know, 30 minutes later, he gets another scene where he's just avoiding her like the plague, you know? So, but that's good. He should not be going after her, so. All these people going after Carmilla. You know, this is nothing. I don't know. Like this, I don't want this to sound wrong, but it's just like, it's kind of the same thing with Tony, where it's just like, what is so attractive about this person? Now, that's nothing about their looks, about the looks of Tony or Carmilla, especially not about the actors, but it's just like, what is it that is actually attracting people to Tony and Carmilla? You know? I guess Carmilla's, I don't know. Everyone's just like, well, there's a MILF. Go for it, you know? I guess it's either Carmilla or Janice. Fucking Jesus Christ, I'd take Carmilla in a heartbeat. I'd take a fucking bullet in my head over Janice, so I guess that's something. It's just funny that it's specifically the two of them. These two people who are not really good people, but at the same time, you know? It's just kind of funny, you know? Like, we don't see this with literally anybody else. But all the women want to be with Tony. And apparently all the guys want to be with Carmilla, so... Well, all the guys except Paulie. I do like that little bit there of Paulie just being like, just stay single. Fuck it. Just don't even bother getting married, you know? It's just like, well, that's a choice, you know? But Silvio seems to be happily married. Does Silvio have kids? Does Silvio have kids? That's how you would say that, yes. I don't know. Have we heard that? Like, he's married. I think, yeah, he is married, but I don't know. Does he have kids? So, like, it's like, oh, it punctured my uterus. Both? No, there's only one. You're thinking of ovaries. So that was kind of funny. Ugh. Damaged goods. Jesus fucking Christ, man. I don't know. And then there's this whole housing thing. It's like the main focus of this episode. I barely talked about it, but I don't know. They got a tip, did the thing. Man, Brian's getting, you know, further in there, you know, little by little. But they're also kind of keeping him on the outside, you know? They just hear things every so often, so... Yeah, but there's the whole thing with Ron and the other guy. It's interesting when they talked about, like, towards the end, you know, we were gonna start a revolution. It's like the revolution was sold, you know? It's just like, it's not a thing anymore, really. So, sad. But this is what they do now. They get thugs to shoot up a crack house and dump these people back on the streets, which is marginally worse than where they were. And they're gonna take the houses, make something better, and then profits. Because, I mean, that's the thing, because it's like, oh, you know, we're displacing these people, and it's like, well, they are crack addicts. There's a kid in there, you know? They're crack addicts. It's not a good thing, but at the same time, well, nobody should get shot for that. Nobody should get shot for that. They need to be put in a program or something, you know? There were better ways of going about that than people being shot, so. In fact, most things in life, there are better ways of doing anything than someone being shot, so. I don't know. Then Tony took out his anger. Tony took out his anger on Ron fucking Irina, so. And again, I mean, you know, sure, it hurt him. It hurt him to get hit by that belt, but I mean, that could have been a lot worse, so. And then there's Paulie. Paulie's still complaining to John about Tony. It's, I don't know, man. Now, like, Paulie and Tony has kind of become what Tony and Ralphie were last season, you know? There's this escalating conflict, and in the middle is Johnny Sack, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I got anything else with this episode, but Adriana needs to get the fuck out of there. I mean, she should have left him long ago. Like, remember, like, she was leaving him, and then he was like, oh, well, we'll get married. And she was like, oh, all right. And it's just like, ugh. No, you gotta get out of here. Oh boy. Of course, even if she gets out of there, I mean, if she stays in the U.S., the federal government will find her, you know? But would they even bother? They'd be like, all right, well, she's out of here. Maybe that's the end of that lead, but maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe she would be driving, you know, she'd make it through, like, Pennsylvania, get picked up by the cops, put in a cell until the pantsuits arrived, you know? The pantsuits brigade. So, let's see, what are we, halfway through the season now? What a season it's been. But that is basically it. And with all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Sopranos reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.